Welcome to another episode of The Power of Choosing.
Today's topic is about reflecting on how far you've come. So this topic is something that I talk a lot about with my clients because it's something that often gets forgotten. So what I'm talking about here is when you're at a point of you have the thing that old you wanted, there's new things to look forward to and to aim for. And you can completely forget how far you've come and all the struggles and all the energy and all the hard work and everything you did to get you here. And one, it's a shame because it just shows how amazing you are to stop and reflect. But also what it does is it has you forget how strong and how capable you are to get to the next stage. So we're constantly wanting people to celebrate all the little wins and the big wins because the place you're in now, old you might have been terrified.
Mm-hmm.
I think about this podcast. If you'd said to past me, oh yeah, you're going to do a podcast. And even just for this episode, I was like, I'm not nervous about this. I'm being recorded. I'm going to say some stuff. And it just feels like what I'm supposed to be doing. And it feels easy and it feels light. And that's not because I'm just that kind of person. It's because I've done a lot of hard work in figuring out what I want to say to people and building up this muscle of confidence and, I can speak and I do have something to say. That past me was you can't talk in front of a camera. You are not confident enough to do that. That's just for other people. And sitting and thinking about that, it's I can do hard things. So the next thing that seems really hard and scary, I just do the same things again that I've done before, and then that will become light and easy, and I'll get to exactly where I want to go.
And I just bringing it back to the conversation you have with your clients, because I do this myself, I forget. So yes, I do all of these big accomplishments and I do all of these things, and I forget the part of reflecting back where I've come from. It's just, the fear kind of grabs hold of me. So it is nice to really have that reminder of where you were versus where you are currently. And that is so crucial and important to really talk about with others and with ourselves even too.
Yeah. So I know you've just done a big move across the country. And I brought up some stuff.
Oh my goodness. So long story as short as possible is I basically moved across country. I was living in Colorado and moved back to my childhood home. And so this topic was inspired because I was reflective back when I was in Colorado, and now I'm currently in Michigan where I was born and raised, and new stuff is coming up. So it's just interesting because if it weren't for my experience in Colorado, I would never be exactly where I am currently, just embracing everything. And so it really has been so much reflecting for me, which I do reflect, but it's just been on high alert because I'm newly situated in my surroundings. And I'm mesmerized by how calm and how happy and just how peaceful in all of the things. And anyone who's moved knows that moving is not peaceful. So to be only a couple weeks out from the move and to be peaceful is because I am doing a lot of reflection and a lot of noticing of the growth that I experienced in Colorado to get me to a place to be able to return home to a place that has been really challenging. This place has holds a lot of energy and a lot of emotions for me because it does tie me back to a lot of things that happened in my childhood that were challenging, but it was because of all of the healing I had done when I was living in my last environment to be able to walk back into this location.
Yeah, so what an amazing opportunity to see how far you've come because you're back in your childhood home, the area, and actually there's a direct comparison. I was this person when I left and I'm this person now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And there's been a 30-year difference in the time from being in this house and being back in this house. So like who I am is obviously different. If you don't change within 30 years, that's pretty crazy. But I've done so much and I continue to work on it. It's not just a one and done situation. I work on healing everything that I've experienced to become stronger, to become who I'm choosing to be constantly. And so working on that, having that space to constantly be focused on my own growth and my own healing is pretty remarkable. And it allows me just to be super reflective of how happy I am currently.
Hmm. Yeah, and it ties quite nicely into this whole being in the moment, being mindful, being present, and looking around and being like, this is the life I've created. And there is so much good because we're so good as a society to be like, this is what's lacking.
Yes,
I'm like, I've just got a promotion, but what's the next promotion? And
right.
my house is great, but what's the next house? It's always what's the next thing. We took my son and daughter to a theatre show, and they did this story, and a new animal kept coming out. So it was brown bear, what do you see? And then the bear would be like, I see a red bird, and then it would be the next animal. And my little 2-year-old kept turning around to granddad. She was sat on his knee. What's next? What's next? Every time. And it was a bit like, you're missing it by asking what's next. She's 2.
Yeah.
She had got into this repeating, what's next? But how often do we do that? What's the next thing before the paint's even dried on the current project? So, how often do we not sit back and think, this life is a life I created because of everything I did, because of who I showed up to be? And wow, that's amazing. We had this other girl that we used to all meet up with, and she was big on the celebrating. So anytime we said we'd done something, before we were allowed to tell her, right, what's our next action plan, it was, well, what did you do to celebrate? And it's that
Love.
moment, yeah, okay, I haven't done that yet. And she'd make us say something. Are we going to have a cup of tea and think about it, or a glass of champagne, whatever it was? And whatever small the action was, it was, how are you going to celebrate? And it stuck with me because it's this really nice practice of, yeah, I did the hard thing and I'm here. How can I celebrate me?
I love this. I always talk about goals versus vision. And for me, I'm not as much of a fan of goals because we do forget the celebration. So I love the friend that would like really have you pause and celebrate because when you achieve a goal, you're on to the next one. You don't take the time to really celebrate it. Where I like the vision. To me, vision more feels like what you're looking to feel. And so a vision can be all encompassing. We're so taught to reach for the next goal and reach the next achievement that we forget when we've achieved it to really pause, celebrate, and then go on to the next one. And then you just are constantly perpetually in that zone of, I need to get to the next place and the next place. So you don't really pause and be with the emotion currently. I'm not in that place currently. I'm really like every little moment, it's just, oh, that's so special. And oh, that's so special. And it's really, this helps me. So thank you for doing this podcast with me to really be able to be like, oh, I really am doing what we're talking about and celebrating myself in the small, tiny moments, not like your daughter in the sense of like, what's next? What's next? That's such a great imagery. You don't need to be in a place of what's next. You can just be here in the moment currently and absorb all of the
Mm-hmm.
richness that is in each and every moment.
Yeah, and it's going against the instinct and the ingrained view of the world that, like, if you're not moving, you're going backwards. But
Hmm.
it's not true. You can just be stood still, and that's
Hmm.
okay. And having these moments of, I've done a thing and I'm going to rest and I'm going to enjoy the fact that I've just done a thing. And because what constantly going for the next thing does is have you in this image of lacking.
Yes.
And actually, we're not. We're in what past us sees as future.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
we're always striving for the next thing. And to me, it hurts the internal self of us where we never feel satisfied. We never feel like we're enough because we're always reaching for the next item that we're seeking rather than just knowing that we're enough and that it is happening for us and just being present to it. And that's where I'm at currently, and just being very present to all of these overwhelming emotions that are coming through on, I would say, the daily, but it's not even the daily. It's like the hourly or the minute. I'm very overwhelmed with just such richness in how elated I feel and how happy and calm and peaceful. So
yeah, I'm so happy for you. Like
thank you.
it's the goal, isn't it? To be like, this is the life I've created, and it doesn't have to be the end. So I think we have this view where it's like you work really hard, you put the hours in, you have your pockets of fun, like you go on holiday, you've got your weekends, and then retirement is this like, oh,
Right.
everything will just be wonderful. You can start to live and enjoy yourself and relax. And often you miss the piece of, oh, you can be enjoying it from right now
Hmm.
and being in it, in the moment, and present and joyful and calm and all the things you want. Can you choose into them right now? Where can you have the pockets of calm every day? How can you create a relationship and a living situation and a work situation that just works for you as it is?
Yeah.
And we have nothing against this dreaming big, anything is possible future plan. And it can seem counterintuitive. Well, if I'm just happy where I am now, then I'll get stagnant and I won't progress and I won't get all the things I want. And we're saying, actually, it can be the opposite. Because if you don't stop to appreciate how far you've come and what you're doing right now, you won't realize you have the skills to get you to the next place. So it will actually make getting to the next place even easier and more joyful, which you can choose into right now.
Hmm. I see part of my happiness comes from watching my dogs. And so being in this new house, there's just so many windows. And there's like a big picture window out front, and there's tons of squirrels. There's squirrels, there's chipmunks, there's deer, and it's constant. And so they have windows to be able to see it. And so it was a moment where they saw one in the front, and then I go into the kitchen and there's this bay window, and I see that the squirrel had gone from one place to the next place. And I told the dogs that, and they jump up and they're just making these noises of like, I want to get this squirrel. And it was just so simple and such a beautiful moment because my dogs are just so excited. And so it ripples effect off onto me because it's just such a simple moment. I'm just smiling because it's so cute. It's so funny. And it's just like, that to me is everything, is just to really be able to be in the moment and just be present to the simple things of life, of animals, and just these picture windows of seeing what's going on in the world and being happy within. So that
Hmm.
was been a metaphor for me.
Yeah, and how beautiful is that? That it is the simple moments. They are enough to remind ourselves of the joy of the world and like the things that make us happy. We have like with social media and yeah, like the internet, we have like things are bigger and greater and
Mhm.
it's almost like you have to have the next big thing. You have to go on a big holiday. Things have to be massive to celebrate. And there is this culture of slowing down and being in the present moment and finding joy there,
Mhm.
finding joy in the little things like time with your children or trips or like I love trees. And I feel calm and I feel happy. And that's my version of the world is great. And
Mhm.
I'm going to take some time to enjoy it.
There's so much beauty in like watching a squirrel with my dogs. Like it brings me a certain kind of happiness.
Yeah. And I guess where this is relevant to the topic of reflecting on how far you've come, it's the place you are now is what past you has created. So
Yes.
enjoy it,
Yes.
because past you has spent a lot of time and effort to get there. And it seems sad to just rush off to the next thing.
Yes, it's all of that. I've really slowed down, and I talked about slow down before, but I'm really in this place of constantly like it is super slow and I love every minute of it. And it is going back to the whole purpose of this episode. It is because of all of the work that I have done to get me to a point to be so happy with the slowdown. Because initially, when I was slowing down first, I was like, oh, this is just not right. And then I recalibrated and I was very happy with the slowdown. It's like shifting gears in a car. I've even gone slower, and there's such richness in that. And so I want all of our listeners to really be able to see and hear in their life where their richness is, and they have it all around them right now. You have richness within you. Just look around, see your environment. There's such beauty there that you have created, and see it for yourself. And it's just, oh, it just makes me so happy for everybody just to pause and really see what's around you. Maybe it's your child, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's a friend, whatever it is. Maybe it's a tree, maybe it's a squirrel. Whatever the case might be, pause and look for it.
Yeah. Think back to what past you wanted and see what you've got. Did you dream of having a family and now you've got that beautiful family? That's what you dreamed of and you've got it. Or is it owning your own home? Or is it a job that you love? Whatever past you wanted, think back and see like, oh yeah, I've got that, and celebrate.
Am I able to ask you, do you know for yourself what is past you and where are you at currently with that?
Yeah, so much. And the first one that came to mind was always wanting to be a stay-at-home mom and run my own business. And they were the two things that I had in my head. And I never knew what that was going to look like. And I went forward and I did lots of different things to see what that could be. And I learned lots of skills and worked really hard. And I'm there. I have had my children and I do life coaching, which I absolutely love. And that's my own business. And I choose my own hours. And I'm a stay-at-home mum for the other half of the time. And I get to decide how much of each one I do. And I have created this life. And it's amazing. And it's bringing me so much joy because I get to spend so much time with my children and do a job that I love, which is my own business. And before, I think because it wasn't this specific, I know exactly what it looks like, it was really hard for me to visualize it. So now I'm really proud of myself because I did it. Even though it wasn't like I didn't know what it looks like, I just kept working at it and I've made it happen.
I love that. That is amazing. And it just really shines through for you. You're where you've been dreaming and now it is your life. And so that's really exciting. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. And what about you?
For me, I like a feeling. That's what I like to attach to. Because I had gone through so much grief in my childhood, I just wanted to have peace. Peace and freedom were two things that I really, really wanted. And I am so peaceful. And I don't know about the freedom aspect. I think I'm working my way towards that. I think that's always a work in progress, but I am free. Like I'm free in my mind. I do have so much freedom of there is freedom there, but the peace has always been top for me, where it was just like I wanted to leave the chaos behind and I just wanted peace. And that was what I always was striving for. And I had found it in Colorado and I'm finding it currently in Michigan as well, where I'm just I'm so content. Life is so simple. I think the word that keeps coming for me on the daily is like simple. And it really is, my life is just super simple. And I enjoy so many little moments throughout the day that I couldn't be happier.
Mm, I love that. And I can just see it all over your face.
Thank you.
It's
It's
beautiful.
such a good to reflect on reflecting at
Hmm.
this moment because that's really where I'm currently at.
Yeah. So, listeners, join us, reflect, and celebrate. I thank you for coming to another episode of The Power of Choosing.
Where today's topic was all about reflecting on how far you've come.